This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This your boy Black Magus, and back with another commentary about life. I have to say the Grammys have spawned a lot of good subjects to talk about in this series. So thank you, Grammys, for your drama this year. Anyway, or manufactured drama, as in the case of the whole Taylor Swift thing. But anyway, really quick, just wanted to talk to you guys about stealing someone else's thunder, or as people like to say today, stealing someone else's shine. Now, I guess this is pretty much a confirmed thing because they spoke to the parties involved, but there was a big to-do about Beyonce performing at the Grammys this year. Now, normally, you know, people would think Beyonce performing at the Grammys, what's so big about that? Well, apparently she performed the song from, let me pull up the article real quick here. She performed the song from the movie Selma called Precious Lord Take My Hand. Now, you know, say what you will about Beyonce's ability to do gospel, blah blah blah. That's not the point of it, bro. The point is, this was a song that was performed by another R&B performer by the name of Lettucey. A lot of you may not know who Lettucey is. Hopefully, some of you do know who Lettucey is. She's a soul singer. She's been around. She's kind of been around for a while, but she's not a big R&B singer. You know, she has a good following. People who really enjoy soul music know who she is, definitely. And she performed the song playing Mahalia Jackson in the movie Selma about Martin Luther King. So it kind of sparked off some controversy because it's like, why is Beyonce doing a song that was just performed by this person? You know, Lettucey did the song in the movie. She played Mahalia Jackson. Why isn't she the one who, you know, is on stage performing it? And she didn't have a clue as what was going on. She found out later that Beyonce was performing it at the Grammys. She didn't know, but she was graceful in her response. She wasn't upset. She wasn't mad. She was just like, you know, it's cool. I've done it. Other people have done it before. Now people of Beyonce's generation can see this and enjoy it. You know, she was really classy about it. Of course, internet being the internet wasn't too happy. And I have to say, me personally, I didn't think that it was a cool move, especially as I read the article and saw that Beyonce actually asked to come up and perform this with Common and John Legend. John Legend and Common were doing their Oscar-nominated song Glory, and she wanted to do the intro to it by doing that song from Selma. And it's like, okay, that's cool and all, but you know, it's a song that right now people have, you know, related to Lettucey's performance. And so it to me, I didn't think it was cool of her to do that, you know, do a song that someone else just recently performed. And I know John Legend had said how hey, Beyonce asked, you can't say no to Beyonce, and I'm like, that's kind of bullshit. Because I understand Beyonce has weight, but you don't need to say yes to everything that Beyonce asks. You know, so that's kind of a cop-out to the whole situation. They could have just said, you know, it was just a decision that was made. They could have just left it on. They didn't necessarily have to say that. He could have said, you know, Beyonce asked to perform it, and, you know, we said yes. You don't have to throw in the whole we can't say no to Beyonce thing, because it kind of seems like you're kind of deflecting everything off on Beyonce, so that's kind of cheap too. But it's just like, come on. You know, Lettucey did the song. You could have asked her to perform. In fact, this would have been a great opportunity for Lettucey. Lettucey, like I said, she has a nice following, but she's not, you know, huge. And this could have been one of those things that could have put her more into the mainstream, you know. But Beyonce decided she wanted to do the song, and of course, like they said, you can't say no to Beyonce, so you know, there we have it, you know, and that's why there's certain controversy. Now, personally, it is bad. I think it's bad. It looks very bad. I don't know if this was something that, you know, again, was in the works, because from what Lettucey said, she had no clue what was going on. I guess she never even thought of the song being brought up at the Grammys, and this was something that went on, you know, independent of her knowledge and probably to a lot of people's knowledge, you know. Well, at least it tried to go that way, but she was cool with it, you know, so it is what it is. But I can understand people's anger at this, because as I said before, this is an opportunity for someone of lesser stature to get a big pop, and you know, someone like Beyonce doesn't need this moment. She didn't necessarily need to do this song to, you know, cement her legacy or anything like that. She could have been like, you know what, guys, you should get her to do this. Since you're doing your song, you should get Lettucey, call her in, have her do this, and give her that moment, you know. It wouldn't have hurt none for Beyonce to do that. And it just made me think, it's like, it's funny how someone with her success isn't necessarily giving back to other artists per se. I think that would have been a great opportunity for her to do, because I know if I were in her position, that's the one thing I would want to do. Now, granted, she's had a career where she's not really been put in that position, so she may not understand that. I mean, let's be honest, people. Beyonce came in and was an immediate mainstream hit, and so she's never had to go from being just a quote-unquote urban sensation, you know, or, you know, a sensation in a certain group. Like Lettucey's more of a like soul, neo soul type of a fan favorite, not necessarily a more it's just now becoming a more general R&B fan favorite and things like that. You know, she's ranking up, whereas Beyonce came in, Destiny's Child, hit off, mainstream, and it's just been going, you know, to the skies for her since then. So she may not understand it, but it just made me wonder, like, why don't people of, you know, larger status like to do that? I guess another example that might be a little more relevant too is that there was rumors that the reason that Tom Hardy quit the Suicide Squad movie was because his character Rick Flag, which is the leader of the Suicide Squad, was going to kind of take a back seat in the script to Will Smith and the guy playing the Joker, and he didn't like that, so he was like, that's okay, I'd rather, like, you know, leave off. And shout out to Mr. Dark Phoenix for his video. He kind of brought that to my attention, and he was saying how, well, he shouldn't have been so upset. I mean, it's Will Smith. Will Smith should get the biggest spot, and I didn't agree with that. I feel like just because you have more stature doesn't mean that you necessarily should get the lion's share of the movie, especially when the role that someone else is playing is the leader. The leader tends to get the most attention in the movie. He's the headliner of you know, the whole group. So, you know, I understand there's always more popular characters, and Will Smith is playing a more popular character. The Joker is a more popular character, but at the end of the day, the role demands that this guy gets at least equal time, if not more. And I understand why you would want to be in a situation like that. You know, just because he's Will Smith doesn't mean that he should do that. And it wouldn't have been a thing for Will Smith not to play a background role. I remember in the first X-Men movie by Bryan Singer, Halle Berry and Jonathan Stewart were probably the biggest stars on that set at the time. You know, the others weren't that big. Anne Paquin was just coming up. Hugh Jackman, that was his first huge role. I forget the name of the lady who played Jean Grey, but that was the kind of a breakout role for her. Like everybody else, they weren't that big. So, you know, Jonathan Stewart and Halle Berry could have taken, you know, their success, their stature, and said, yo, I need to be in the spotlight. But Halle Berry, playing a lesser character, took a backseat to Wolverine, and Anne Paquin's character, you know, damn, why did I forget her name? I used to read the comic book all the time. But anyway, you know, her and Jonathan Stewart didn't necessarily scene seat, didn't make sure that they get enough face time. And I think as a bigger star, you can do that. You can play a lesser role in a movie and just take a backseat, just be there to like have your presence. You don't have to be in the limelight. And I think the point of this all is that, you know, when someone has an opportunity to succeed, don't stand in the way. Don't grandstand and take their thunder. You know, sit back and let them do it, because at some point in a lot of people's, you know, careers coming up, whether it be in movies, athletics, you know, business, YouTube, whatever, there's, you know, there was probably a time where you were desperately seeking to get, you know, your chance to take that meteoric rise to where you are now. So you shouldn't necessarily jump in front of someone else and take that from them. That's pretty much the basis of this. Sorry I went on the long rant about the Beyonce thing. I just found it's just peculiar to me, but ultimately that's my whole point. Don't stand in the way of someone else's success, especially when you have success yourself. You should, if anything, do whatever you can to help them secure their success too, and pay it forward, pass it on. You know what I mean? But anyway, you guys hit me up, let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Megas, and I'm out. Deuces.